up, Big Steve?
Shout out Mikey B. Shout out Evan Evangelos. Brought him back on. He wanted to be on the show, so why not? All right. We've got a busy weekend. Made some shitty money on some shitty Australian boxing yesterday, so I'm perked up, as I told Evan. I'm excited. I'm G'd up. How about you, Evan? You still doing well? How are you?
Doing good, Steve. Feeling good, man. I love coming on your show. Love talking to you. Love chalking it up with you. One thing I was thinking about earlier was like, Steve's such a good dude. Are you ever going to come to North America and like link up with, me and Chad? We'll go out, hang out in real life.
That's always been the goal, man. That's always been the goal. Like, I love traveling. I've been everywhere, like all around Europe. I've been to China, Xiao. I've been there years ago. But it's, now I have a wife, and she's 1 month away from giving birth to my first son. So it's like, but we're going to move to Europe, right? I think we're just sick of Australia and we're sick of living in one place. So I don't see it out of the realm of possibility that we're just going to come to America as a couple, travel, and then she can stay home and I'll just come hang out with the boys and get on the session in Vegas or something. Yeah. No, seriously, that's my life is not, I'm married and that. Like, I've got a lot of possibilities. So I would love to come to Vegas or something. I get jealous when all you fuckers are like posting photos, like you, Pepe, not so much John Slugarian, but others, and then just drinking, and I'm like, fuck, that should be me right there, out drinking all of them, just keeping my reputation in check in real life. But I'm sure it'll be a fun time.
One of these days. I was supposed to go see Chad in the spring, but then I got injured, so I was like, I'm not trying to hobble around Canada.
That's easy. He lives close to you. You talk to him on the phone all the time. I caught up with Lucrative MMA, so there you go.
Oh, you did?
I'm sure you're jealous of that. Yeah, we did a podcast from the same apartment.
Oh, I never saw that.
Yeah,
long time ago?
Like a year or something ago.
Good dude?
Yeah, he's good. He's very chill, man. He's like a typical English person. Like, he would had some friends in high school that were English, and a lot of people hated him because they've got that English personality, like very cocky just naturally. But he's just a nice dude. Like, there's nothing wrong with him at all. He can take a joke. Yeah. He might just, his English personality might get exacerbated online even more to the public. So
I think a lot of what he does is, a shtick.
Indeed.
The way he carries himself in the public eye.
Yeah, but there's an element to it. There's an element to it in real life as well. But I've got nothing against that. Like, it's just whatever, confidence, whatever you want to call it. All right. Should we get into this card? We got a lot of comments. I'm going to say that's thanks to you, Evan. And also, I never go this early in the week, and also this early in the morning. So maybe I should do this more often. But Irish. Shout out Big Steve and Mikey B. What's the backstory? Well, can't give you the backstory because Mikey B said I can use that soundbite if I never, ever tell you the backstory. So sorry about that. Shady. Yeah, always doing these syringes. Are you insinuating that I'm on steroids, Shady? I don't know. I don't know what that syringe means, but Lags. Wow, that must be the first time you've been in here. Welcome, Lags. Riding high. Michael Casey. Let's go. Okay. He loves a parlay anchor, Michael Casey from the Discord. Glimbot, what's up? What's up, Subhuman Legend? What's up, Raw Talk? This feels like he should be Chad's alternative burner. Word up, mother fluffers. Well, Chad would never say that, though. All right, let's get into it. Raw Talk, I like that. It's got me thinking. All right. Daya Nurgozhay versus Uran Satybaldiev, whatever the hell you pronounce that. Can't bother. That's too early. So I said I'll play this Uran guy on the early tees, mind you, with no tape. So get off my back, anyone that's going to clip that. And then, the lads, Pepe, my other bald friend, played Daya at plus 140. And I was like, wow, that's a bit out of hand. And some people on Twitter are like, don't play Uran. He's not that great. I'm like, man, I remember this guy from LFA. Calm down. I'm not playing minus 200 on him. I got senses. And then I taped Daya, and I'm like, I'm going to love this as an underdog. I know him. Like, he's not that bad to be plus 150, plus 140 to this Uran. And I just can't do it. I just feel like they have a lot of similarities, these guys. And ultimately, I feel like Uran just tries harder. That's all it is. He tries harder. He might have better hardware. And even though he loses minutes, I feel like the way they are fights, he loves a pretty fight. Like that fight on Contender Series that he knocked out, That guy went to KSW and went 0-2, got knocked out both times. And then he just won. I was going to fade him at massive favorite in his last KSW fight against the 36-year-old kickboxer. It's not an MMA fighter. And he won a split. He's not good at all. He's chinny. And he took that. They are way too long to get him out of there. Like, what is he going to? He's just going to dance around and play that game against Uran. I just think Uran's going to do more. He's going to try harder. He might get taken down. I don't know who's younger. These guys are the same age, right? I think I saw that right before we went live. I think it might be both like 20.
Uran's 31. Dayar is 28.
Yeah, okay. So he's old. I didn't really know that. But, yeah, I don't know. Just Uran, like, I get it. He's doing a lot of stupid shit on LFA. But, I don't know. Just, it's a bit of a shit fight. So I'm not interested. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I did tape it with an eye on betting the underdog, and I mean, I don't think it's a bad angle I think it's going to be a competitive fight. I don't think Uran is a very good fighter. It is interesting though that what's his name? How do you even say this last name? Nurgozhay? He got Kimura'd by Brenson Ribeiro, and this dude Uran loves going for the Kimuras. So I don't know. I mean, it just seems like a very low-level fight at light heavyweight, high volatility. I don't know. I'm just gonna pass, but I get the underdog shot.
Yeah, it could be a very sloppy pick'em fight. So
yeah,
there's value. What I will say, just to raise your Nurgozhay getting Kimura'd by Ribeiro, which is an awful look. Uran was just like getting put in all kinds of subs by that Brazilian dude, Bruno Assis, who's extremely chinny, and he just couldn't even get him out of there. It was funny. He almost got Martin Budai out of there, like with 60 pounds less on him. It's just a weird, volatile fight. Yeah. Alrighty. Long Xiao versus Su Yongyu. This was the first fight that I liked, or in terms of odds sticking out before any tape. I'm like, wow, plus 150 on Long Xiao. I got to take that. But I'm not going to rush it because it wasn't widely spread on all the bookies. I didn't want to like donate on Bet Online without tape. And just completely steamed. I think this is almost pick 'em now. And now I'm thinking, I think I might like you here. Just because he's the best grappler that Xiao Long has faced. Yeah, some people might say Lee, but Lee is traditionally very bad control and just a very sloppy fighter, whereas Yu is all IQ and, you know, he avoids getting hit. He really tries to make sure you don't get up when he takes you down. It's a lot of control based. And you see on Twitter and a lot of the public, they hate these kind of guys, you know, that are boring, like Leroy Murphy and Yu, and they don't separate. But man, that stuff wins fights. If you can 30-27 people. So now I'm thinking Yu, but I haven't gone deep enough. Like, there's a chance that where it's settled now at Pick'em, that could be completely accurate. What do you think?
Exact same thoughts. So I love Long Xiao. I think he's a shit-eating wild man. I actually took the GTD in his last fight, and it looked like it was going to hit, but he just melted his opponent, Quang Li, with his pace. Like, his pace is absolutely relentless. He's got great cardio, and he's definitely improving. He's getting better from fight to fight. But stylistically, he's so aggressive. He's forward. Like, Su Yongyu is going to get takedowns here. So I definitely think that if I want to play Long Xiao, I think there's probably a live entry. You know what I mean? So that's just how I'm going to approach this one. But it's a very competitive fight, and I love Long Xiao long term Xiao. I think he's a good prospect. He's got elite cardio, and I think that will take him far. And he's a lunatic. But stylistically, I think Su Yung could probably stifle some of that forward pressure. So I'm passing.
Would you say you love him long time?
No.
No. Okay, fair enough. I'm just asking. All right.
Fight,
yeah. Lags. Good point. They're talking about this under. Completely forgot about addressing the totals. Is Uran under 2.5 still plus money? No, it seems like it's Pick'em as well. So weird fight. I think they're both durable. So this maybe the over is the side, right? I do think despite getting dropped by Ribeiro, I think Nurgozhay is very durable. Like getting flash knocked down, I don't really care too much about that. I want to see actual chin issues. Evan dressed like he coached undefeated under 12's baseball team. Yeah. Well,
can I talk about my shirt real quick? It's ParamountSports.com. I'm collaborating with Lee Sterling from ParamountSports.com. So Lee, I'll tell you this: he's one of us. He's a longtime professional gambler. Does a great job. Tips, the 5 major sports, and I help him with his MMA slate. So I'll talk more about that later. But that's the shirt, my new shirt, Paramount Sports.
Nice. So
Thank
that's
you,
your
Pierce.
little side income.
Yeah, for sure.
Looking like the offensive coordinator of the JV football team. Orange slices, man, this brings me back. I played soccer for like 20 years, and the orange slices at halftime. Wow. Steve looks like Weston Wilson. Oh, here we go. Gone corporate. I'm wearing a damn hoodie, man, with my logo on it.
Dude, how do I get one of those? How do I get a big brain hoodie?
Well, I need some demand. So you're the first person ever to ask for one. So,
dude, let's start.
I guess I could make one. I could make one just for you.
We need big brain merch.
I think if I start selling merch, I've completely sold out. If I start selling merch, I'm already rejecting Dub Club in my emails every 2 days, and now I got to sell merch. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm chilling on the Dub Club.
Asian women are great. I don't know, Londo might be one of the first time listeners, but I definitely agree with that. Good comment. I am not married to an Asian lady, so no one tell my wife. Big Steve gatekeeping his merch. Yeah, I'll fucking put out merch if you guys fucking want it so bad. Jesus. Alrighty, next fight. Wilson versus Xiang or Xiang. Yeah, I mean, for me, this is one of the most unplayable lines. We don't see lines like this. $0.08. Like, I think G is not all that. Like, I mean, he's already lost two times in the UFC, against Lee, and then he can only win road to UFC fights, and then he's lost again. But tough opponents, I'll give him that. But Weston Wilson, for me, this is just, will he finish him under 1.5 rounds? What kind of props can I play? Will he KO him? Will he knock him out? I have to do a little bit more tape. I'm not saying there's no value on this fight. I usually like these squash matches. There's something you could find. So that's what I have to do more due diligence. But because this line ain't going anywhere, like find me a Weston Wilson backup that can actually move the line. I'm not rushing it. What do you think?
Dude, I mean, it's plus 600 to go the distance. Sometimes I look at those crazy GTD lines and just sprinkle them. Like, I didn't tape it. I mean, this is one you look at it, you're like, what do I even look for? You know what I mean? But it's a squash match. What are you gonna do? I don't know. Maybe sub. Yep. Can he sub him?
That's what I'm looking like. Weston Wilson does have a grappling background, and he's been subbed once by Carlson Frey, which is not that long ago, 4 years ago, and he's also been gogo-platted, which is a red flag for a submission person. That's when it becomes tricky. But KO, Wimbot, KO plus 250, probably 1 and 2. Okay, that's not bad at all.
Dude, Yi by sub is minus 170 on BetOnline.
Dude, that's an easy fade. If you're laying that, I don't know what to tell you. You're probably VB.
That's rare that you see a line like that, a submission line.
It doesn't even make sense. The people that he's insta-subbing are Junifei, who's a wrestler, and Kevin Lee, who is his training buddy, who has no jiu-jitsu as well. So you would think he would just... This is the one person he can knock out on the feet, Weston Wilson.
If there's value, just based on what we're looking at, it's probably on his KO line.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's the first thing that jumped out. The guy has no chin. MMA guy is brave, and he took the over 1.5. I mean, yeah, it's possible, but it's just my issue is his rabies. The guy just comes in there. He trusts his chin, so maybe he can just run through. But we'll see. There's no point talking about it because neither of us have a really strong lean at the moment. All right. Speaking of no strong leans, Michael Pereira, Carl Daukaus. I hate doing this, but I'm going to echo the echo chamber on Twitter right now. Michael Pereira, round 1. Carl Daukaus, live bet after that. I hate doing that shit, but sometimes that's the only thing that's interesting to me. I do think Michael Pereira Michel Pereira, pardon me, was compromised in the last fight. I think that was clearly obvious. That dance that he did is disgusting. And he also didn't do a backflip at the weigh-ins, and he just looked like happy to be there. I don't really like doing the old weigh-in analysis or the stare-down analysis, but he seemed like there was something wrong with him. Like he was like, oh, no, I'm going to lose this fight tomorrow, or I don't even have the energy to do a fucking backflip here. Like he's sick, like antibiotics or something. So he was completely like, he didn't really try, and he just started that fight gassed, in my opinion. So I was also let down against Fluffy. He did much better against Fluffy. He almost had a guillotine in round 2, so he had a lot more cardio there, and Fluffy was pushing more on the pace. So if that guy comes out, he hurt Fluffy to the body or to the head. If that Michael Pereira comes out, he should be able to run through Kyle Daukaus. I watched his last 4 fights on regionals. Greg Ellis hurt him bad. That's all I needed to see. This is still the same guy that was run through by Anders and by Dolidze. That's it. That's what are you going to do? $3.50 for round 1, $2.50 for under 1.5. I mean, if you can bite the $1 worse, you get another 2.5 minutes. You never know. Maybe Kyle Daukaus, if he aggressively wrestles for 2.5 minutes, he can get a finish himself. But that's the play. And that's it. But I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait till the weigh-ins. I'm going to see if Michael Pereira is dancing, if he's doing backflips. I need the aura Pereira back. Otherwise, he's getting grinded out here. I will say, though, awful wrestling by Daukaus. Awful wrestling, but he pushes it. He pushes the pace hard, so you never know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Michel Pereira, this is a massive step down in competition from Abus Magomedov and Fluffy Hernandez. Like, he should really take care of Kyle Daukaus. Kyle Daukaus is a total weenie. He's not physical. The thing is, with the cardio angle you talked about, I don't even think Kyle Daukaus has good cardio. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that this is a situation where Pereira is going to just completely melt under somebody's pressure. Do I want to trust Michel Pereira at his number in China? No. But I think he absolutely squashes Kyle Daukaus, knocks him out.
Yeah.
Probably right after the over 1.5 hits, he gets a knockout.
No, well, that's contrarian take. Very nice. Alrighty. I completely forgot about this fight. Rongzhu versus Austin Hubbard. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Hubbard could keep this competitive. I know people say he's not all that, and he's a bit of an exister. I agree. And, Rongzhu should have better striking, but he still has one big issue, Rongzhu, and that's he has his hands low and he eats stuff on the chin, and he cost him against Chris Padilla. I had him there at chalk. It just looked like he was going to lose halfway through round 1. I see some people today saying, oh, he was doing good until the elbow. To me, personally, I thought I was losing this bet. Because he just, Padilla looked good. Rongzhu was just, I don't know. But he won as a massive underdog against Cody Steele, and Cody Steele is the wrestler with no striking defense either. So you bet him as a big underdog. I'm not really interested in parlay piece. Austin Hubbard, he fought someone similar in Alexander Hernandez, and he made that competitive in rounds 2 and 3. And he made Michael Medeiros very competitive. And, Michael Figlak was competitive and he won. So, I don't know, man. He's probably going to get bonged around round 1 by Rongzhu. Maybe calf kicked. The bigger moments are definitely going to be on Rongzhu's side, but I'm not really interested. Rongzhu never as a parlay piece, never a chalk, even against an Austin Hubbard. Rongzhu by decision kind of has my attention. Let me just have a quick look at that, and then you can tell me what you think. Wow, fight goes the distance is worse than -200. That is disgusting. Wow. At that point, I would just take my chance with Rong inside the distance somehow. Yeah, that's all disgusting. What do you think?
So I did parlay Rongzhu here with the anchor, Aljamain Sterling. He looked great against Cody Steele. And that's the type of fight that I think makes a guy better. He's only 25 years old. He's cross-training at City Kickboxing now. His lead hand is really good. He just pumps the jab out there. To your point, Austin Hubbard will probably lose a 29-28 on 3 scorecards. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he's going to get blown out of the water here. He's very well-rounded. He's got skills. He just doesn't get out of first gear. He's got no explosive element to his game. He doesn't have power. He's not a submission threat. It's a perfect opponent right now for Rongzhu. The only way Hubbard wins this fight, I think, is if he weasels a decision. But in China, they're really trying to push the Chinese market. You know what I mean? Their UFC PI over there is massive, apparently. They're signing all these prospects to train there. And I mean, I think that this is free money on Rongzhu. I think he's getting good. And I didn't always think that. But at 25, I think his boxing is really, really good now.
Yeah, look, I'm not for it, but you could get away with this one. I'm just, as I said, Steele, I think, is much more green on the feet than Hubbard. But yeah, he should win here in China.
Well,
but
that was a great fight. Have you retaped that fight?
No, I haven't. I remember
even
being
if you don't have an interest in betting this fight, it's a phenomenal fight to watch. It's just an absolute banger of a fight.
Yeah, Steele is a high level grappler, and he just comes in there brawling with everyone. And
he only shot one takedown, I think, and got the takedown, but then it was an awkward. He wasn't able to consolidate position, and Rongzhu just got up right away, and that was it. And then
I do remember from what I remember from that fight is the line shooting up to insane prices for Cody Steele, and my boy Parky hit it, and I didn't. Rong was like such a big underdog, but I was so scarred from Pereira, and just like, I mean, I should have played it because it's a big underdog as opposed to favorite, but that one hurt.
He kind of beat the shit out of Cody Steele.
Oh, he beat the crap out of him, but he also got dropped himself at the start.
He did. He got hurt bad.
Yeah,
he got hurt first. He got hurt first, and then Cody Steele came in aggressive, and then he got hurt back, and then it was all Rongzhu after that. But he did get hurt. But Hubbard is harmless.
Yeah, he's all right. Alrighty. Leon Kavanagh versus Charles Johnson. Interesting fight. I personally think...
what's his name?
Leon Kavanagh.
Oh, Leon? Isn't it Loner?
I don't fucking know. I was just
I only mentioned that because Pierce put in the chat before. Can't wait to hear Steve mispronounce his name for the 500th time.
Yeah, I saw Pierce talks a lot of shit. The only reason I pronounce it the same way as that Irish guy, whatever his name is. What's his the guy that was cut? The little blockhead, little Irish Cejudo.
Oh.
And he lost. He beat Nathan Fletcher in his last one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how you pronounce his name.
All right.
So I was like, maybe, but yeah, it's probably wrong. Who gives a shit? He's a fucking half Chinese, half Irish.
Yeah, so Leron Kavanagh.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah, that's the one. Callan
Loughran.
Cool. I don't think it's Loughran though. In if you pronounce it the proper Irish way, but who cares? I'm no Joe Anik. I'm his twin brother. Alrighty. I think this is a lot more competitive than the odds, but I just think Charles Johnson loses because it's what he likes to do. He likes to lose. I think Leon is technical enough, powerful enough. He's got the cardio. He can mix in takedowns. But this is probably a fight where if you're going to bet Charles Johnson, if he's going to surprise you, just a bit like Joshua Van fight, he probably will. He will keep it competitive. But I can see a Kavanagh decision because Charles is extremely durable. This is probably another juiced over, right? I just have a look for... If it's the same, okay, disgusting over and Kavanagh decision.
Oof.
It's disgusting, isn't it? Oh, wow, it's minus
over
money.
2.5 is minus 355. That's crazy.
6 down. Charles is the side. I'm not advocating for minus 200 on Kavanagh. I'm just I'm doing the rare thing and giving you my pick, which I don't really do. MMA guy disagrees. He thinks Lenore is parlayable. Don't know about that. I would like to have some finishing upside. McGrizzly going to beat Collins' ass. Yeah, Collins is super overrated. That's why UFC cut him. I think they noticed that. What do you think?
I think it's a really good test for Loner. I think Charles Johnson is the side. Charles Johnson beat the shit out of Sumudaerji in a great fight. Knocks out Josh Van. This is a step up for Loner. Charles Johnson's a very good fighter. If Loner does mix in some takedowns, he's not doing anything with them, I don't think.
Yeah,
I'm going to pass. I think Loner's going to win the fight, but I don't think there's any value on Loner.
Yeah, I think Loner should be the favorite. And he just might be a little bit too favorite, but I don't really care about the slight value that I might be getting on Charles. If he covers massively, then so be it. I'll be okay with missing out. So the only time I bet Charles was like Hadley and Joshua Van of all people. But I was hating on Joshua Van at that time, like how hittable he was and getting dropped by Borjas. I was like, there's some value here. Big Bird makes a good point. Honestly, they both have weird chins. That reminds me, Kavanagh gets dropped a lot. He got dropped a lot in Cage Warriors. So maybe Charles Johnson can do that thing once again like he did against Joshua Van. Ochoa smokes Charles Johnson. Look, you know what? It's possible. Styles make fights. Not going to be able to hit 3 takedowns like the shooter box bet. Yeah, never know. All right, let's move on. We're on the main card now, right? No, we're not. Fuck.
This is the prelim headliner.
Weird fight, but anyway, Maheshate versus Xiang. This fight I'm not really interested in at all. It's pick'em. Someone in the chat thinks the Young should be a big play. Both of these guys are not really UFC level. There's plenty of footage of Maheshate to prove that. He's basically getting run through in all his losses, even by people like Rafa Garcia and Borjas, who hasn't really run through anyone since Dakota Bush in his first fight. Nicholas Mota as well, just rinsing him. Watch Gabriel Benitez. Even when he gets the fight that he wants, which is a 15-minute striking fight, he can't really separate from Gabriel Benitez. So I think he's green. I think Xiang is green, but I think he has more potential to be a better martial artist. I think Young has a bit of wrestling. He's got more power. He's definitely more durable, but they're both hittable. So yeah, it's just a weird fight. Like, I'd have to do an extensive amount of tape to get a good read on this fight, but with all the regionals on this week and Road to UFC, which I think is better for betting, I'm just not going to bother. What do you think, Evan?
Yeah, I wanted to bet Gage Young, but ultimately I passed, and that was when he was at a better number. So if people are betting Gage Young, he seems to be like a pretty popular underdog stab this week, even though it's like a pick 'em now. And I get it. I mean, I think if this was in the Apex or something, I would like Young, but I just think that being in China, I just think Maheshate, he is young. He's huge. He's like 6 foot. He's improving. I think he might be okay here. But I like Gage Young. I think he's a better athlete. I think he's a better fighter. He's 5'9", though. He's smaller. There's going to be a huge size discrepancy here. Both guys are super hittable. Like, their striking metrics are very bad. Both guys have very bad striking metrics. What's the total here? Because I wouldn't.
It's over 1.5, and it's disgusting. It's actually juiced to go over 1.5. I think they changed it to 2.5 rounds plus money under. I
might like it under here.
Yeah, you could hit, but I think it's minus money because they're both durable, and I don't think Gao Zhang
Maheshate is not very durable.
True, but yeah, but then we've just shoehorned ourselves into basically Gao Zhang KO, right? Essentially,
they're both so hittable. Gage Young is very hittable too.
Yeah, but then again, Maheshate needs like a flying knee or something, or an overhand. Like, I just feel like his finishing upside is.
I know he doesn't have a lot of power.
He's fought 2 chinny guys back to back in Mota and Benitez, and he's had 0 moments. And not only that, he had 0 moments against Slava. The only guy knocked out is Garcia, which was hilarious.
And Garcia sprinted chin first into that shot. It wasn't even a big shot.
He was compromised. I watched interviews on that, and he's like, he had a busted shoulder, and he needed to get out of there in like 4 minutes. So it's funny. But yeah, I don't know. Just, again, everything from totals to the money line, I'm not interested in this fight. So
I know Glenbot likes Maheshate here.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just Glenbot. But there's others that like Maheshate. And then because it's in China and because they're both young, and Young is flying to China for his second UFC fight, it just makes me, I kind of like Young, and then it makes me go, maybe I should like Maheshate, and it just feels like Pick'em is accurate.
Same.
Yeah. We're just looking for reasons to bet a Pick'em fight. So for me, it's easy pass. Alrighty. Someone said this Shanghai card is a bit shit, isn't it? Well, I could have told you that 7 days ago, but we're making the best of it. I have bets. Speaking of which, I have 3 units on this bet, which is probably stupid from my end, and I'll probably reduce
a lot of units for you, Steve.
It is, but I was just like, fuck it, I'll worry about it later in the week. So I have 3 on Nurgozhay, the Super Saiyan, basically just the fade on Kiefer Crosby, and I was like, I need a parlay piece so I can parlay with this lock Nurgozhay, and then I don't have to put so many units on it to win the unit. Couldn't find anything, and I'm like, man, this is like $1.32. It's going to be like $1.10 by the time the week starts. Let me just put in the straight bet. Worst case, have 2 units. I'm okay to lose 1,200, whatever. It would have to be some meme shit from Kiefer Crosby. And if it is, I'll put a unit on the under, which I did. $1.60, what is that, like 60%, 57%. So I'm fully expecting both of these to cash via Nurgozhay round 1 KO over Crosby. He's an absolute shit-eating wild man. Like, he shoots all over long in terms of that regard. His fight on Road to UFC, I know Pierce loves him because he bet him there against Kim. Kim is the best win on either one of these guys' records. He knocked out KO, the guy that just fraud checked Oban Elliott, the guy that was in Contender Series, the Korean. He knocked him out, and then he's never been knocked out before, that Kim guy. And Nurgozhay just swang and banged with him and just put him out cold in round 2 with an elbow. So I'm like, wow, this kid is fearless. He's fearless, maybe a bit reckless, and for some reason the UFC didn't sign him. I found that hilarious. That's like someone coming into Contender Series, having the best fight ever for 7 minutes, getting a brutal knockout, and then they're just not signing him. Like I was like, what is Dana White doing? Anyway, he went on a 3-fight win streak over bums, and now he's back. Super reckless in all those other ones as well. So Crosby has a puncher's chance, but I don't really think he hits that hard, honestly. And he's been hurt himself in his last 2 fights by Patterson and Jousset. And like clockwork, in both those fights, when he gets hurt, he initiates the grappling, even though he's a white belt. And then he gets taken down and he gets submitted. So he doesn't really have a plan B when he gets hurt. He goes to grappling and then he just gets submitted. So I think that's live here too. Nurgozhay has gone for takedowns. He has a submission, an armbar in his second last one. I think anyone can really submit Crosby. So yeah, I just put 3 units. I'll probably reduce to 2. Keep my 1 unit on the under 1.5, which probably doesn't cash if Nurgozhay is like a little bit patient in there, but we'll see. I didn't really overthink this fight. I might have overstaked it though. What do you think, Evan?
Can I interest you in Nurgozhay by submission at plus 750?
Yeah, that stuck out to me. It's possible.
I mean, Crosby gets subbed every fucking fight because he's like you said, a white belt, a 0 grappler.
True. But the thing is, he also gets hurt in every fight, and then he initiates the grappling himself. But it's like, will Nurgozhay even need to go for a takedown here? That's the thing. This could just be, let me just run through this bum from Ireland and get my first UFC win on short notice. I don't know. But I feel like I just have the safe options for like a unit profit. Maybe I put $50 on the sub just to add a little, juice it up a bit.
I might sprinkle the sub just to feel something.
Yeah, feel it. You'll probably feel a lot of adrenaline watching this fight too. So,
what time is this card in your neck of the woods? So for here, it starts at 3 a.m.
Mate, it's perfect. It's perfect. So this is the only time these fights are on late at night, because it's the same time as Road to UFC. So when Road to UFC is on, the one episode is Friday night, starts 6 p.m., done by midnight, I'm in bed. And then the next one, Saturday night, 6:12, I'm in bed. And then this UFC is a Saturday night, 6 p.m. till midnight. And the Road to UFC is a Friday. So I generally just stay home and tape fights Friday night, Saturday night, unless I go out for some event. But usually it's on a Sunday morning. So I'm going to pump it out, finish it, then wake up on Sunday, whole free day, nothing, no reason to stress my bets on a Sunday morning for once. So
oh, yeah. Take the missus out for breakfast.
We've been doing that a lot. We both work from home, so it's actually it's winter here, but it's been sunny for like 2 weeks straight. It's like insane Melbourne weather for some reason.
So what's the temperature like?
It's cold. I got the heater on, but it's just like sunny. Like you can see through my window, like the sun is beaming, but it's maybe like 13, 14, 15. But you can go out and get some rays, like some vitamin D and shit. You know, it's not raining.
Yeah.
It's just chilly. Dude,
man. So you're having a son, right? Is this going to be little Steve?
Yeah, little Steve or little Andrew Tate. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. Depends how I want to raise him. We'll see.
Yeah.
If some random blonde-haired lady pisses me off, I might just raise him into a mini Andrew Tate. We'll see. I mean, life's unpredictable. We'll never know.
For sure.
I'll make sure he's got strong values and he's not sensitive like Dogfather, for example. I'll make sure that he can take a joke from a young age.
That's key.
Mate, if my kid can't take a joke, he's going to have a rough time. Alrighty. Sumudaerji, Kevin Borjas. I'll let you take this one away because I think you're a notorious Sumudaerji hater, right?
No, I don't think so.
There was that one DM. You're like, I hate everything about this Chinese Moefa, from his face down to his personality. And I was like, Evan, calm down, mate. He's just a fighter. Like, it's not his fault Mitch Raposo didn't throw anything in that fight.
Oh, right.
I was like, take it easy, dude. But
yeah, I historically haven't been a big Sumudaerji guy, but I think he's actually getting better. Definitely in the grappling. I mean, you saw signs of that against Charles Johnson. I thought his grappling was okay there. He did get nearly knocked out in round 2 against Charles Johnson, which Charles Johnson's a good fighter, doesn't have a lot of power in his hands, but Sumudaerji's got this like tiny little head, and if you crack him good, he doesn't like it. And I think that Kevin Borjas is going to crack him pretty good. I think both these guys are pretty dynamic. Sumudaerji strikes really well moving backwards. He's actually getting pretty good, and he's young. He's 29? So he's coming into his prime. I like both of these guys. I think Kevin Borjas is a really, really, really fun prospect. I was on him against Ronaldo Rodriguez. I believe you were as well.
Yeah. What a bet.
And I thought he competed really well against Josh Van, but Josh Van's just, built different. So I wanted to bet Borjas here, but nah, I passed. I just think that Sumudaerji's showing a lot of improvements. He definitely is taking his career seriously. Team Alpha Male seems to be helping him in the grappling, and he's longer. I think he probably wins a decision here, but there might be a sweaty moment or two. What do you think?
I'm going to have to disagree. Just in the term, I think he's regressing. I think I loved him when he came to the UFC, and he was just some early round 1 knockout props over Malcolm X and like the most chiniest guys. And then I'm like, wow, this guy is so slick and so powerful. What a beautiful level of striking. And then obviously, just getting fraud checked by people like Matt Schnell and, oh man, almost getting knocked out by Charles Johnson. I think he is what he is. He never should have been ranked, and he's very fragile. And I mean, I don't know how you could think that he's improved by watching him go to a split decision against Mitch Raposa. He might be improving his grappling because when you're a white belt, you can only get better. But I don't know. To me, it's like, yeah, this kid has a ceiling, and if they don't match him up well, he'll just keep losing and he'll be cut. So to me as well, it's Kevin Borjas or pass. There's a lot of money coming on Sue, which is interesting to me. I bet Borjas twice. I bet him against Costa, and he let me down massively there. He just looked like he flaked. And I'm like, is this the same guy that went to war with Joshua Van? Like, why is he...
No, but Costa killed his legs, remember?
He did. But I just hate seeing... I mean, I get it. The leg kicks are very painful, but I just hate seeing people that kind of quit in there. I like to see guys that have like a dislocated ACL from leg kicks and they just make it to a decision and they're still swinging and banging. Like he was just like, nah, my leg's jacked up, and then he got hurt on top of it as well and got pounded out. But yeah, Lazy Boy was a much easier fade. I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm like, I think Borjas, this is a striking fight, so there's not going to be much grappling. Although he did take down Joshua Van. And Sue, say what you will about Sue, I think he's fragile, but, he does have speed, like really good speed, even for the weight class. But even when he gets a striking fight, he doesn't really cover, right? Zaruk Adeshev, you should have got him out of there. He's just massive size advantage over Zaruk. That's just insane. Matt Schnell hurt him on the feet. Tim Elliott hurt him on the feet. Charles Johnson hurt him on the feet. So to me, it's a dog or pass. I just need to do enough tape to get some confidence, because Kevin Borjas, I'm still like, he has to show me a bit more. It's easy to look good against Ronaldo Rodriguez, who I think is one of the worst guys in the UFC. Very fortunate to win UFC fights, but against the guard that's going to faint and not really go first in Sumudaerji, it could be a staring contest, and you might have some value in Borjas and then just lose in China a split decision. So
what about an under?
I just said, let's have a look at the over at the same time as you said the under. But
the under is plus 200, plus 205, under 2.5.
Yeah.
Doesn't go the distance, is plus 185 on Bet Online.
I just think neither have one punch KO power. Like they might drop each other, but I don't know. I don't know if a finish will materialize from two strikers.
I think a different ref would have stopped the Charles Johnson fight. But
that should have been stopped for sure.
Borjas being as debilitated he was by Costa's leg kicks, like Sue kicks legs really well too, but it's orthodox versus southpaw. But he goes to the inside leg kick a lot, which also probably leaves him open to the right hand though. I think it's going to be, if the over hits here, I think it'll be a sweat. I lean the under.
No doubt. Pepe, Mudaji easy. So Pepe is one of the guys that laid the suit chalk. I wonder why do you say that, Pepe? Because I'm not taking this comment seriously. Thoughts on Sumudaerji's cousin in road to UFC? Yeah, we bet him. Most of us bet him as an underdog in the last one, won by KO. But I need to tape. I'm excited about road to UFC. I was going to do it tomorrow. Maybe I will. Mitch Raposa still signed. I mean, is he signed? Could be cut for all we know. Blonde Dog, hey, what's up, man? Crosby training with an MMA coach for the first time. This is the narrative. We'll see if he will learn 5 years worth of MMA skills required to be in the UFC from his new coach at 33 years of age. Daukaus, yeah. Sue gets unnecessary hate. Well, I don't really know anyone that hates Sue other than Evan, but the hate that he has for him could really power the rest of the world. Mitch Raposo is fighting Maxim. Well, that tells you that they're off that train. That's for sure. Here we go. Sumudaerji southpaw going to keep Borjas in check. Way better range. I agree with that, but I still feel like it's a slim margins fight. At chalk money. So, alrighty. Co-main event. Sergey Pavlovich, Waldo Acosta. What a weird fight. How the hell is Waldo Acosta in the rankings? I mean, we know how. It's because he beat Sergey Spivak, and that was his only good win in the UFC. But it's just funny. Like, I had him there. I played him live as an underdog. I think I was quite fortunate to win that decision, although I can see it. I'm not going to scream robbery because Waldo landed a big overhand right in round 1. Round 3, whatever, you can give it to Spivak. Round 2 was like a bit of nothing. He stuffed all his takedowns. But the guy, for being a striker, he doesn't really separate. Some people are playing Sergey Pavlovich minus 200. I'm a little bit jealous of that line. I completely agree. I mean, Sergey has a striking upside here. If Spivak can hurt you, so can Sergey. He has the wrestling upside, which we've seen against Jairzinho Rozenstruik. I retaped that fight today, and I remember him wrestling Jairzinho proactively, but he actually hurt him in round 1 and hurt him in round 2 and just stayed on top. The only takedown he landed was round 3 because I think he realized, wow, this is such an easy path for me. Let me just get a takedown in round 3 and cruise to the 30-27. But he's still hurting Rozenstruik. So some people are like, oh, he's got no killer instinct. Man, Rozenstruik is very durable, and he hurt him twice with like a counter and a jab in round 3. So he still has the touch of death. Waldo has a good chin, but he's been knocked out in boxing twice. So he's got that weird. Don't know what to make of that. It's almost like you kind of have to disregard the boxing fights. Because he was eating bombs from Despelis and also bombs from Lima, man. He was eating some big overhand rights, and he just didn't react at all. So the chin's crazy. But yeah, I think Sergey has like minus EV decision upside, and he has early KO upside. So I would play minus 200 on Sergey. I also think the over 1.5 rounds is a cheeky look. I don't know if Sergey is going to come out with rabies again. And Waldo, I don't trust him to finish anyone, especially after losing money against Andrei Arlovsky. So yeah, I think maybe the 1.5, but I didn't lock that in just because I can't do a minus money over on a Sergey Pavlovich fight, despite what we've seen in his last 2. So what do you think?
So you did not play the under, or you did?
No, I don't. I said I don't mind the over 1.5 rounds because of it kind of covers both guys. Pavlovich can win over 1.5. Acosta can maybe. Acosta's path is some weird janky decision.
Yeah.
But the more I'm talking about it, I just don't see Acosta winning a decision, man. Like if he fights against like he did against Spivak, he has no kicks, he has nothing. He just has.
Well, he works behind his jab, and he's giving up 6 inches of reach, right? And a guy who is so, reliant on using his jab to set up the rest of his boxing game, jabs are there to be countered by guys with big right hands. I think Sergey is going to kill him, and I parlayed Sergey with my anchor. I'm an anchor man this week. I'm taking a page out of Die Hard MMA, Clint's picks. I'm anchoring Aljamain Sterling to my parlays. I have 2 parlays with Aljo, and one of them is with Sergey Pavlovich at minus 104. So
well done. You don't have to take out a page out of his book. You can anchor, but just make sure your anchor wins. So
I know. I'm gonna get flamed so hard if this shit doesn't hit. But
hey, I don't mind anchors, man. Anchors bring me back to a better time when I used to anchor everything.
I rarely parlay anything. So I just looking at this card, I feel so confident in Aljamain Sterling, and I'm the biggest Brian Ortega hater on the planet. So it's Sumudaerji, whatever. Right? Maybe I haven't liked him in the past. Brian Ortega is completely washed, completely dust. This man has no business flying to China to fight at featherweight against another professional athlete. So Aljamain's free, everybody. Put him in your parlays. That's all I got to say about that. 5 rounds. Cool. Well, Steve, what do you think?
Well, yeah, I was going to let you go first because I know you're on it, and
yeah, I'll go more.
Pepe's on it, and Dogfather's on it, and I'm like, okay, and I haven't really looked into it, which is a shame. I really wanted to dig into it before this show so I can say if you guys are mushed or not, or if I agree with you. I get it. He's been washed. He's been washed for a while. Like, we were both on that insane Lopez line before the cancellation. It just broke my heart.
And then I had to play it again, even though we got a worse number.
Oh, disgusting number, but he's still covered. He's still covered.
Easy.
But he was good to us against Xiao Rodriguez. Well, what a line that was after round 1. And I was never a Brian Ortega fan. I was never a Korean Zombie fan. And he's just beating those guys and Frankie Edgar and Cub Swanson. But I will say he can submit anyone, in my opinion. Right, guillotining Renato Moicano in his prime, that's got to count for something. And he's got elite submission upside. He makes it look so simple. I will say Aljo is position over submission, and I think Ortega's the opposite. So Aljo can definitely take him down and grind him out, maybe get his back like Evloev. But I feel like he won't do that. Aljo's completely fine to strike. We've seen him strike against Peter Yan for, the whole first 5 minutes of the 5-round fight. He can strike. He outstruck Pedro Munoz 30-27, even 30-26. And, he was getting calf kicked, and that was prime Munoz. He was getting teeped, and he was okay. He got hurt a couple of times, but he's like, no, he's happy to stand with a dangerous guy. So he's probably going to stick and move and throw. He's probably going to land a lot of overhand rights because Ortega has 0 defense. He might even hurt him. But, yeah, I get it. No, the more I'm talking about it is it's literally Ortega by sub. That's his only path. So
Ortega is the most overrated fighter, overachieving fighter in UFC history for my money. His entire game is a fallacy. His striking metrics are literally terrible. He absorbs almost 7 strikes per minute. His takedown accuracy is 26%. Takedown defense 55%. The guy sucks. He completely sucks, and he has to kill himself to make featherweight. For years, he's been talking about going to lightweight. After pulling out of the Lopez fight, he's like, "Yeah, I'm going up to lightweight now." And then he fights Lopez at featherweight. I don't even know what he's doing. What is he? It just doesn't make any sense. He's only 33 years old, but he's completely dust. He doesn't train with a team. He doesn't have a camp. He just kind of wanders around and rolls jiu-jitsu at different gyms. So I think this is free. Sterling is going to cruise here.
Yeah. If I run out of time, I might just tail you guys and do a Pav and Sterling for a unit. What if you go to lose? I will say, yes, I agree about Ortega, and that whole division full of overachievers. Yair Rodriguez should not even be in the top 15. Ortega the same. Who else? Pico's not really ranked, but he shouldn't have got a fucking Relon Murphy fight. Korean Zombie, just that whole division needs a revamp. Get him out of there.
Dude, so Ortega is ranked 4th in the division. Crazy, he has one win in 5 years.
And that's because he beat Yair Rodriguez that shouldn't have even been that high in the first place.
Right.
It's messed up. When the rankings are messed up, the whole division is messed up.
Yeah.
Thank goodness they didn't give you a title shot. I'm glad they listened to the fans for once. Josh Emmett, you could probably get Josh Emmett out of there too. The guy's been...
He's old now.
Stealing a living with one overhand right. Alrighty. That's why we're here, right? This is the fight where there's many, many bets on it. Jokes. It's almost unplayable. I have just a unit on the under 1.5 rounds, minus 200. It was an opener, or close to an opener. I think it was much better. But I was like, you know what? I'm up at midnight on a Sunday. Let me look what these totals are because it's a very shitty card for betting. It was minus 200. I was like, ooh, that's probably accurate. And I was staring at it for 10 minutes. And I'm like, nah, this is going to move. And then I just played a unit. And then tomorrow it was $1.25. So last time I saw a line like that. That's the line that I said Derek Lewis versus Teixeira should be. Last time there was a line like that was Ryan Spann versus Bogdan Guskov. And I laid that and I lost my ass. by like a minute. And that's because Gushko was durable and you got grappled by Span in the first round. This fight, Johnny Walker ain't durable at all. And you got ran through by Volkan. I don't think Volkan hits that hard. I definitely don't think he hits as hard as Zhang. Ankalaev knocked out Walker. And just the fact that he was close to 1.5 round mark is enough for me just to say, yeah, Zhang's going to come in there. He's going to brawl. He might be a little bit patient because he doesn't really want to let the ball down in China in the main event. But he's kind of smart. He fought differently in every single fight. He was pressuring Smith, throwing elbows. I think he's going to pressure. He's going to stay patient. Walker's just going to freak out like usual. He's going to try teep and like run away, but I'm not overthinking it, man. I could only get one unit down on it. Hopefully it's an easy $300 for me after it cashes in the first, maybe early second, but that's it. There's nothing smart to say about this fight other than I don't really think Zhang as a parlay piece is the safest option, personally. I think it's a volatile fight, and Walker can knock out anyone, and he can knock out someone like Zhang, who's been knocked out like 6 times in his career. So if you want to parlay, there's the safer options, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Walker dies in round 1. It's not a hot take.
Sure.
The only reason I would be scared if I was playing an under 1.5 or something. Sometimes in 5-round fights, guys like overcompensate for the potential to have to fight for 25 minutes. And sometimes the first round is kind of like a sparring match. But, Walker, just touch him and he goes down. And in like the most cartoonish fashion ever. So I think this is just being set up so this, Chinese fella can get something added to his highlight reel. I think the UFC is really pushing China big.
I mean, his whole run is insanely predictable. Like, Tuco is probably the most durable guy he's fought on the road. And then after that, it's like they just gave him Ribeiro, which is a joke. They gave him, which is a good win. I mean, Ribeiro has, two UFC wins now? That's not bad.
Yeah.
And then they gave him Aussie. No, that's fine. At least Smith was ranked, so it's like a safe path into the rankings. But they gave him Aussie Diaz on short notice, upper middleweight, and he was fat. And he's the most chiniest guy in the world. I'm like, wow, it's kind of sad. Took one elbow to knock him out. And now they're giving him Johnny Walker, which, again, he's in the ranking. He's ahead of him in the ranking. So it's kind of a natural progression. But, again, probably the most chinny guy in the division. So they know what they're doing. I played the under in the Smith fight because the over was taking steam. You can always rely on someone playing like an unlikely over in these fights. So maybe it improves. And it was a hard click because I'm like, I've lost so much money playing unders in the Smith fight. And he's just cowering on the ground for like 4 minutes in turtle. And just the ref doesn't want to stop it. Like that's the only guy that Reyes hasn't ran through because he's just in the turtle position for like 5 to 6 minutes. I'm like, what is going on? Just quit. If you're quitting, just quit.
His best position. It's his best position.
He's an absolute turtle. He's just surviving. And then they have the goal to not change his name from Lionheart. I'm like, dude, lions don't just fucking get in the fetal position and then just wait for the fight to end. Anyway, so I'm like, I'll play it just because he's retiring. And the fact that Zhang finished him, and it wasn't like one punch. He was still in a turtle position, go figure. But he was like elbows, and he's like, nah, I want this finish in round 1 over Smith, So is he going to come out there and just stare for 5 minutes in his hometown? He'll probably be safe a little bit, but yeah, he's gonna want a round 1 KO over Walker.
Well, Walker's a lot more dangerous than Smith. So maybe he tries to mind his P's and Q's. I'm not trying to talk you off. I'm not. Whatever happens, I'm not cashing out. I'm not reducing. I've set my destiny is set. I took the over in the Smith fight because he is an elite turtle, but he was so washed at that point. That was a joke. That fight. You're
the guy that plays these overs. I didn't even know, but I just said there's always guys. I usually assume it's Kagabe that plays the overs. Aljo, even at this stage, is better. Do you have time for a PFL quick? Oh no, you don't want to do it.
I haven't looked at the card, but I'll stay on.
All right, Dixon hates PFL. He's too Hollywood here. I do hate PFL, but I'm not too Hollywood for money. So what I will do is I'll be extremely selective. So I know my boy Dogfather played Razabano, whatever the fuck his name. They all have the same names. Let me have a look. Murad is fighting Silveira. And he was a little bit better that minus 200 now is worse. Honestly, I would just play the over there if it sticks, and potentially Murad by decision. I think it's still going to be competitive. I don't know how you can watch that Jeffrey fight and think, if Jeffrey can keep that competitive, why can't Murad, Why can't Silveira? Tyler Ray, St. Louis, this is just every single PFL card starts off with a shit regional fight. So is this St. Louis? Is this Kennedy's St. Louis's brother? It has to be. Carl Williams, whatever. I think Carl Williams has some value as an underdog. Rasul, I don't know either of these two dudes. Impa's going to destroy Sanchez if you want a parlay piece. This fight, competitive. Paganda, I don't know this bum. I honestly like Corley, but I would have preferred that pick'em line. Popov, Romanov, is this going to be like an easy over fight? Do we have totals on PFL? Yeah, we do. Okay, let me have a look. Murad. Wow, the over 2.5 rounds on Romanov Popov is pick'em. That could be it. And as you can tell, I haven't really taken the whole card, and Edwards Dalton Roster. I think that's an interesting fight. I think they both have really fast twitch styles, and I don't understand why Edwards is minus 200. Because Edwards doesn't really push the pace to gas out someone like Dalton Roster. So interesting fight. That's all I can give you with the couple of hours of tape I've done this week. So what's the Impa under? The under 1.5 rounds for Impa. Generally, Sanchez gets knocked out late. Generally in round 3, but he is extremely chinny. So that's all I can give you. What are these comments saying? And then we'll get it. Kennedy's brother. Yes. All right. Cool. Anyone know why Tyler Ray is taking so much action? To me, it felt like JP St. Louis was the side. The ride line is cooked. Yeah, Dogfather cooked it. Tell us about your Rasulov parlay. Calm down. 6 round. Evan is the parlay anchor guy this week, not me. If I had to anchor something, I'll anchor Impa Kasaganay at a horrible price. Walker unders give me PTSD ever since the Santos. Yeah. Ramazanov, Murad, parlay piece. It's a rematch. St. Louis subbed him before, I believe. So why is money coming in on Tyler Ray? Coley, good live bet spot. Yeah, potentially. Romanov liable to quit. Yeah, maybe. It's not easy to wrestle Romanov. That's why this fight is interesting. All right, that's it for me. Plug your thing, Evan. What you wanted to plug your little. You're sponsored by Nike, right? You're the special.
Yeah, sponsored by Nike and ParamountSports.com, which is basically Lee Sterling, who runs the website and company, puts out a MMA card every Friday. Obviously, the fights are Saturday. Well, we tip UFC bets. This week we are tipping 3 bets for $33. If you want the bets, pay the $33. But with promo code SAVE30, you'll get the card for $3. So ParamountSports.com, Lee Sterling, one of us, great guy, lifetime gambler. And if you like other sports, he offers bets there as well. So, Steve, it was an honor and a pleasure to chalk up this fight card with you, buddy. Let's make money. That's what we do. Fight numbers gone but not forgotten.
What is Evan? This is not happening, is it?
I'll do it. I'll still do it. My leg is feeling good. I'll put out a little heavy bag video and talk shit to Just Win Baby if he wants. I'll send Sean Orr the $3,000 right now. I'm down. He's got to put up $3,000. We both have to put up $3,000. Winner gets the bag. So talk to Just Win Baby. Maybe we can make it happen. But I'm feeling good. I'm getting back in shape. Foot's better. I'd love to fuck that dude up. So as everyone knows, I'm down.
Yeah, it might be a bit hard for Just Win Baby to put up his whole bankroll to come fight with you.
But he sounds confident enough. Like, come get your 60 units, bro.
You can sell big brain shirts to fund the fight. Yeah, you know what? The only thing is, this has my, because this is the same logo I use for my design business. It has my name on the back. I might have to make ones with the big brain instead.
I will for sure buy one. If you, I'll buy a couple. I'll give them away at Christmas.
All right, I'll do it. Asking a man to put up 60 minutes. 6 Hound, I made this joke 10 minutes before you. Can you tell me this? Did you know before you signed to that Paramount deal, did you know the UFC was going to Paramount?
No.
Do you have inside knowledge? Are you like Johnny the Greek, but less Jewish?
No.
So you're more Jewish than Johnny the Greek. I knew it. I fucking knew it.
No comment.
Shalom. All right. You can catch Evan at your next bar mitzvah. You can catch me on the Big Brain MMA. Thank you, Evan. We'll make money. We played a lot of chalky stuff, so you know it's going to hit.
Top card. Aljamain Sterling, anchor parlay. Let's go.
There you go. Parlay with Impact Saginaw. Beautiful.
There it is. Free money.